and welcome students to the Rashmi's classes. Today we'll discuss NCERT Class 12 CHAPTER1 double fertilization. So let's get started. Double fertilization is a unique reproductive process that occurs in flowering plants, angiosperms. It involves the fusion of two male gametes, sperm, with two female gametes, egg and central cell, to form two distinct structures, the zygote and the endosperm. This process is crucial for the successful development of seeds in flowering plants. Here is a detailed explanation of double fertilization. Pollination. The first step in double fertilization is pollination. Pollen grains containing male gametes are transferred from the anthers, male reproductive organs, of a flower to the stigma, female reproductive organ, of the same flower or another flower of the same species. Germination of pollen grains. Once the pollen grain lands on the stigma, it absorbs moisture and germinates, forming a pollen tube. The pollen tube grows down through the style, the structure connecting the stigma and ovary, toward the ovary. Formation of male gametes. Inside the pollen tube, the generative cell divides by mitosis to produce two sperm cells. These sperm cells are the male gametes. Penetration of the ovule. The pollen tube continues to grow through the style until it reaches the ovary. It enters the ovule through the micropyle, a small opening in the ovule's integuments, protective layers. Fertilization of the egg cell. One of the sperm cells in the pollen tube fuses with the egg cell, located in the embryo sac, within the ovule. This fusion results in the formation of a zygote, which is the fertilized egg. The zygote will develop into an embryo, which will later grow into a new plant. Formation of endosperm. Meanwhile, the other sperm cell fuses with the two polar nuclei in the central cell of the embryo sac. This fusion is known as triple fusion and results in the formation of a triploid 3N cell called the primary endosperm nucleus. The primary endosperm nucleus divides repeatedly by mitosis to form the endosperm, a nutrient-rich tissue that will provide nourishment to the developing embryo. Seed development. The zygote develops into an embryo, and the endosperm develops into a nutritive tissue surrounding the embryo. Together, they form a seed. The seed contains the embryo, endosperm, and a protective seed coat. The ovary develops into a fruit, which contains the seed. Example. Let's consider a typical example of double fertilization in a flowering plant like a bean plant, Phaseolus vulgaris. In this plant, after pollination, a pollen tube grows from a pollen grain through the style and reaches the ovary. The pollen tube then penetrates the ovule through the micropyle. Inside the ovule, the pollen tube releases two sperm cells. One sperm cell fuses with the egg cell, resulting in the formation of a zygote. The zygote will give rise to the embryo of the plant. Simultaneously, the other sperm cell fuses with the two polar nuclei in the central cell, forming the primary endosperm nucleus. The primary endosperm nucleus undergoes mitotic divisions to produce the endosperm, which serves as a nutritive tissue for the developing embryo. Eventually, the seed of the bean plant develops, containing the embryo and the endosperm. The ovary surrounding the ovule matures into a pod, which is the fruit of the plant. Thanks for watching. Please like, share and subscribe.